Next week, but one, because today is Sunday and we're heading into the 1st of April, that is on Tuesday. But after the next week, the other week, Arsenal is obviously going to be hosting Real Madrid, and there are stories that are obviously coming in through that 4 of Madrid players might obviously be out of this encounter. And this is a story that obviously came to light when a video surfaced of Kylian Mbappe obviously holding his crotch in front of the fans of Atletico Madrid. Remember, that game ended 1-0 in favor of Atletico Madrid. And remember, the first game that was at the Bernabeu ended 2-1, and that was a 2-2 tie. They went to penalties. Julian Alves found himself missing out on that penalty because he really had a double touch on the ball, as obviously went ahead, obviously hit it. And then there is another player of Real Madrid that went ahead, obviously missed a penalty. Real Madrid knocked out Atletico Madrid on penalties 4-2. That was how things really went ahead to happen in there for you. So, as it stands, the side of Real Madrid is really facing an investigation under UEFA, because UEFA is like, they have to obviously gate their team to obviously tell us what exactly is happening, or what exactly went ahead to happen at the Metropolitano Stadium, because of the celebrations of Kylian Mbappe and a man known as Rudiger. Rudiger went ahead and obviously did this, that celebration that the Premier League had always gone ahead to investigate after Rasmus Hojlund did it when he scored after 22 games, and they said it's okay. But I don't know why for Rudiger it's obviously going that way for his side. Kylian Mbappe went ahead obviously hold his crotch, and he obviously went ahead obviously hold it as he looked at the fans of Atletico Madrid, and that has gone ahead to obviously cause trouble for 4 players for Real Madrid: Vinicius Jr., Vasquez, and is it Vasquez? I think it's Ceballos. The 4 players that are said to obviously be banned or that are under investigation and a ban is looming are Antonio Rudiger, Kylian Mbappe, Dani Ceballos, and Vinicius Jr. That's what you're obviously getting in through from that side. And what's the reason they've gone ahead to obviously give? The reason reads, Rudiger struck the winning penalty, right? And after he struck the winning penalty, they went ahead obviously get into post-match celebrations as the side of Real Madrid. Then television pictures appeared to show Rudiger making a throat-cutting gesture towards the crowd, and Mbappe apparently grabbing his crotch. UEFA has appointed a special inspector who will work independently, and most of the evidence is expected to be video footage of the alleged incidences. UEFA is unable to provide information on how long the process will take and possible sanctions. Now, no update about the possible sanctions, and they don't know how long it's obviously going to be taking. Now, when that is set into that order, that there is no given duration for this to obviously be really given what we call its ruling or verdict, and not even knowing what particular punishment is obviously going to be given to these 4 players of Real Madrid, that means we have to really put in our thoughts as humans and really ask, if it doesn't go in the favor of the players of Real Madrid, what is obviously going to be happening? Because Mbappe, Vini, Ceballos, and Rudiger are all key pillars at the side of Real Madrid. If you've been following them up for a very long period of time possible, you note it that as Arsenal heads into this game of football, they have what we call a 4 backline advantage and the midfield advantage. You understand? And Real Madrid has an advantage of its front 3, and its front 3 comprises of Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Vinicius. If they are banned and a decision is made, I tell you, it will really sabotage, it will really sabotage the game plan of Real Madrid, as Carlo Ancelotti will have no huge options, because for that, he'll have to go in for Endrick, he has to go in for Adagula, and Rodrigo to obviously lead his line, and that will be really bad, because in the Champions League, you wouldn't like to give any chance to your opponents, especially in games like this, because you know that it's a two-game tie. If Arsenal win it on a very huge goal margin, it might be very hard for the side of Real Madrid to obviously do a comeback and obviously knock out Arsenal. So that's where this ban is obviously going to be affecting the side. But there is also the other option of them not obviously getting a ban and getting a fine. And we've also gone ahead to obviously hear that UEFA has something that could obviously come the way of Real Madrid. Now, they've said why a fine could be more likely than a ban. So why Mbappe, Rudiger, Ceballos, and Vinicius fine could be more likely than a ban. A fine is thought to be more likely than a ban. In 2019, UEFA fined Cristiano Ronaldo 20,000 euros for improper conduct. Ronaldo had made an obscene gesture after scoring for Juventus against Atletico Madrid. Atletico head coach Diego Simeone was also fined 20,000 euros by UEFA for making the same gesture after his side scored in the first leg at home. There is no guarantee the case will be dealt with before the first leg with Arsenal at the Emirates on April 8th. The teams then meet again 8 days later in Madrid. Now, this verdict is obviously going to be taking some time, but they've gone ahead to obviously give us another possibility that was obviously done by Real Madrid way back, by UEFA. Ronaldo, when he scored against Atletico Madrid when he was at Juventus, and went ahead obviously do the gesture, and they obviously fined him. The same applies to to Ramos. So I think it might obviously go the fine way. That is it. Because when you look at how this Champions League is going, UEFA would love to see a Champions League between Real Madrid and Barcelona. And they wouldn't like to obviously make it very easy for the club of Arsenal to knock out Real Madrid. Because if Real Madrid is coming without those 4 players, Rudiger is one of the pillars, or the big pillars, integral players in the defense of Real Madrid. You understand? Dani Ceballos in that midfield is doing wonders there, because they're lacking what we call squad depth into that midfield, and he knows exactly what it means to play for Real Madrid. He's a player that came in at Arsenal, they loaned him, and obviously went back to the club of Real Madrid, and he has lifted very many Champions Leagues at Real Madrid as a squad player. So if you're missing out on Rudiger, Mbappe, and Vini, that makes Real Madrid's side very, very, very weak. And I think at Emirates, if they come like that, they have no chance. I tell you, if they come like that, they have no chance at the Emirates. So I want to let you know that it is two-way. They're either going to be fined, or they're either going to be given a ban. And I tell you one thing that you have to obviously understand. If I'm Arsenal, I would obviously want to see them come without these players at Emirates, because even if they are not there away at home, those fans will obviously keep rocking, and they'll obviously have that support. But them coming without these 4 players at the Emirates, Arsenal will be having close to 59, I think they'll be having close to 52,000 fans, and I think they'll have to give away like 8,000 tickets to the fans of Real Madrid to obviously travel to act as the away fans in there. So I tell you, nothing is gonna come simple. But for what Real Madrid did, we are waiting for the verdict. But the verdict might even happen after this tie. You understand? So we don't know what the plan of UEFA is, but remember, UEFA wants a Champions League finale between Real Madrid and Barcelona. And remember also that Real Madrid has a big say in UEFA. That is really one of the factors that you have to obviously know and really understand. So I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below, as Mbappe Vinicius Arsenal encounter ban, looming, and the verdict is set to obviously be given by UEFA. Second video of the day. I sign out for now. I'll see you later. Bye bye, my man.